What if we could get...
What if we can...
If I could figure this out.
Just a little more realistic.
Yeah, okay, I see.
What if-
This doesn't work.
What if we try to optimize the assets first?
If we combine VR and immersive theater.
If we could...
What if I time slice the boat simulation?
If we could just shave 1 millisecond.
If I could visualize the
What if we
character.
could get the details so crisp?
No? All right. Hey everyone, welcome to OC6. We have a lot of awesome stuff to go through and show you all today. But first, I wanted to start off by, I've been saying for a while that we think that augmented and virtual reality are going to be the next major computing platform. And I just wanted to start off by talking for a little bit about why. Back even before I started Facebook, when I was still in college, I was studying psychology and computer science, right? Because for a lot of us here, it's not just about building technology. It's about building technology that works the way that we do. And the first thing that you learn in Psychology 101 is you go through the anatomy of the brain, and you start learning just how much our brains have evolved and how most of them is really about connecting and communicating with other people. And so we have the language centers that almost no other animal has. You have the visual cortex, where we're especially dialed in to understanding people's emotions, right? If you're talking to someone and they move their eyebrow a millimeter or their cheek a little bit, you're going to notice because that means a completely different thing, whereas if something moves over there, you're probably not even going to pay attention. We have our mirror neurons that when we're interacting with another person, we understand what's going on in them and inside of us. So we experience the world through this feeling of presence and the interactions that we get with other people, which is why Facebook's technology vision has always been about putting people at the center of your computing experience. And we've mostly done that so far through building apps. And I don't think it's an accident that a lot of the top used and biggest apps that are out there are social experiences that put people at the center of the experience, because that's how we process things. But there's only so much that you can do with apps, right? Without also shaping and improving the underlying platform. And I find it shocking that we're here in 2019 and our phones and our computers are still organized around apps and tasks and not people and the things that we're actually there present with. So I feel like we can help all of us together deliver a unique contribution to this field by helping to ensure that the next platform changes this. And the defining aspect of augmented and virtual reality is that they deliver this sense of presence, or that no other technology platform before has ever delivered. You feel like you're right there with another person or in another place. And now, sure, we have a lot of work to do before we're going to get to that perfect form factor that we all want. But you can already see glimpses today of how the devices that we're all working on are helping to deliver a feeling where we are more present with the people that we're interacting with there, not less, like a lot of the other platforms that are out there today. So longer term, and I think that this is going to add up to a lot of really big changes. We're going to be able to live anywhere that we want and be able to feel like we're present with the people and the jobs and opportunities that we want to have access to anywhere we want. So that's why I'm so excited about this. And I know that a lot of you are working on this because you're excited about similar things, and it's awesome to be on this journey together. So now, in order to do this, we need to build we need to do a couple of things. The first is we need to build a lot of technology that's going to help advance and deliver this feeling of presence. The second thing that we need to do is build an ecosystem of all the experiences that need to be delivered here. So on the ecosystem side, the first step that we need to reach is reaching critical mass in the community. And once we get to a certain size in the community, it's going to become economical for all developers, from the independent folks up to the biggest AAA developers that are out there to build content for VR. And once we reach that point, the amount of content is just going to explode, and that's going to push adoption further. So in getting there, Quest is off to a great start. It's only been on sale for about 4 months now, and we are selling them as fast as we can make them. But even more importantly, though, is that retention is good. Right? So people are using it week after week after week, which is a great signal for how the content ecosystem is getting stronger, and VR is becoming something that more people are stepping in and out of on a day-to-day basis, rather than this kind of one-off special experience that you need all this different equipment for and you need to dedicate a whole room in your house to. So these are all really good signs. And to get to critical mass, we're focused on building forward compatibility into all the new devices that we build, so that all the content that you're all making just works across everything now and going forward. So the goal is that if you develop something for Quest today, then our goal is to make it work on all future Quests as well. And that means that when you buy a Quest, that you're not just buying something that's going to be locked in time, that as all the new content is built for the future, it's going to get better. And also, as we deliver major software updates, the platform is also just going to dramatically improve. And that's going to be a big theme of what we want to talk about today. But of course, the biggest part of this depends on all the awesome stuff that you're building. So we need to build an ecosystem that supports all of you, which is why I am proud to share the news that as of today, people have bought more than $100 million of content in the Oculus store. And since Quest came out just several months ago, more than 20% of that is from Quest already and growing really quickly. So I just want to take a moment at the start of this conference to thank all of you who are really the ones who are pushing this ecosystem and community forward. So thank you, guys. All right, so the experiences that you're all building for Rift are as good as it gets in VR. But right now, when you build something for Rift, that library of content isn't available to people who are on Quest. So we've been looking at what we can do here. And we want to, so the first thing that we want to announce today is we've been looking at how we can make this possible. So we've made a major software update, and we have a new product that we're calling Oculus Link that is going to make it so that if you have a gaming PC and a USB-C cable, you're now going to be able to run all the Rift content on your Quest. So this means that starting in November, when we ship this update, your Quest is basically a Rift now too. So now this is going to work with most USB-C cables that are out there. So you don't have to buy ours, but we've also designed a dedicated cable that's going to maximize the throughput here. It's going to charge your Quest if your PC supports that too, and it's long enough that it makes sure that it provides you with maximum flexibility and freedom of movement. So you're going to want to check this out. We're shipping it in November, and we're really excited to get this out there. So that's one major software update that we wanted to talk about. But I want to move on to another one that's about to make your Quest a lot better too. So a lot of the technologies that we're working on here are foundational, not just for virtual reality, but also for the future of what we want to do with augmented reality too. And one of the really foundational things that we feel like we want to improve and make a lot better is input. Because in the future, you're going to be able to interact with digital objects with your hands, or just as naturally as you can with physical objects in the world. Now, I'm sure that a lot of you remember the first time that you tried out touch controllers, right? And how awesome it was. You were just able to look down in virtual reality and reach out and grab something or throw it and do something with it. And it really just added this whole element to the experience. But as soon as we made that possible, it immediately opened up this bigger question, which is, okay, how can we do even better? How can we make it so that instead of having to use hand controllers, we can just use our hands? And I am excited to announce that early next year, we're launching hand tracking on Quest. All right, want to see it? Let's check this out. All right. So this means no controllers, no buttons, no straps, no external sensors, just full range of motion in your hands. And even if you've spent a lot of time in VR and you've spent a lot of time with touch controllers, I think that the first time that you get a chance to experience this and you just wiggle your fingers and you see that full range of motion in your hands, it takes the experience to a whole new level. And you're going to get a chance to try this out on the demo floor after the keynote today. So I'm really excited to get this into all of your hands. So, this is what I mean when I talk about building a platform that improves over time. Right? 6 months ago, if you wanted to get into VR, you needed a PC, cables, sensors, hand controllers, and a half a dozen physical objects. And now, soon, it's just going to be a headset that you can bring with you anywhere that you go that is full inside-out tracking, completely wireless, and now your hands are just going to be there too. So there's a lot of work that we still need to do to get to where we all want. But I think what you're starting to see is the hardware is getting out of the way. And with each step, we're getting to a more immersive and natural experience. All right, so now I want to talk about the future of input for a minute, though. Because hand tracking is great. It doesn't require controllers, but it still requires you to use your hands. And in the future, we want to get to an input where we can just think something, and it happens. So what people call a neural interface. And earlier this week, we announced that the Control Labs team will be joining us. And they're the leading team working on neural interfaces. They have a lot of the best researchers, computational neuroscientists, and more. And they're working on a wristband, right? And it picks up electrical impulses that are sent through your nervous system and turns them into digital signals that you can use as input in virtual and augmented reality. And it's completely non-invasive, right? There's no surgery, no implants. You don't have to get holes drilled in your head. It's just a wristband. And so it gives you the sensation of being able to interact with digital objects just by thinking. And this is clearly early, right? It's gonna be a number of years before this gets into any of the products that we're shipping, but it works. And they have a dev kit that they're shipping already now. And now that the Control Labs team is going to be joining our Facebook Reality Labs team that works on augmented and virtual reality, we're going to invest and make sure that this is a foundational part of the input for the next computing platform. And I'm really excited about this one, so I just wanted to talk about it for a few minutes today. All right, so the last thing that I want to talk about up front today is delivering a social experience in VR. Right, so I talked about for a while how our technology vision is putting people at the center of the computing experience. And a big part of how we do this is by building technology that advances the feeling of presence, right? So more immersive, getting the hardware out of the way, better, natural, more UI, better, more realistic avatars, which we'll talk about later. So that's one part of it. The other part is basically building the software experiences that put people at the center of the experience. And that's kind of our bread and butter as a company, right? We build a lot of the best social experiences for phones and for computers, and we want to do this in virtual reality as well. So great social experiences usually aren't just a place where you interact, right? They give you the ability to define the space around you. And so we've been working on something that does this in virtual reality. It's kind of a virtual reality take on this. And we've been working on this for a while, and today we want to announce an experience that we've been working on called Horizon. And in Horizon, you are going to be able to build your own worlds and experiences. You're going to be able to play games. You're going to be able to explore. You're going to be able to hang out with your friends and, of course, meet new people. And because everyone is going to be able to create their own spaces and experiences within it, Horizon is going to have this property where it just grows and expands and gets better and better over time as we focus on building this out for many years to come. So let's take a look at this.
Beyond our world, there's another world. And it's right here, on my face. Welcome. This is Horizon. Think of me as your guide / self-appointed spokes avatar, here to show you around. Horizon is filled with possibilities. You can play stuff, make stuff, fly stuff. Whoa! Really love the stash, Stuart.
What up, Stuart?
Wait, I want a mustache. Horizon isn't about rules or limits or pants.
Or people telling you not to fly an airplane while drinking your fresh ground, fair trade, French press morning coffee through a curly straw. Isn't that right, Debbie?
Mm-hmm. It's about getting out there and trying new things.
Making your mark.
Making friends with an Australian named Mark.
Oh, actually, I'm from New Zealand.
And you can even build a world of your own, like laser tag moon landing. Or this islandy place with these cutie patooties. In Horizon, the world is your lobster.
Isn't it oyster?
That too. So come, join us. A never-ending, ever-changing world beyond your world is waiting! Woo! Debbie gets it!
All right, so we've built Horizon to be a welcoming and inclusive community from day one. A lot of the social tools that power it are the same ones that we built over the years to power Facebook and Instagram as well. There's a whole range of expressive and diverse avatars to get us started. And the best part is that the creator experience is built right into VR. So you don't need to be able to code in order to create something, although that can certainly help in building some of the more advanced things. You don't need to take off your headset in order to make something. You can make some really neat stuff in just a couple of hours if you want, and then invite your friends in and have experiences and hang out with them right there. So this is early. But this is another step towards building the kind of social infrastructure that we believe is going to be important in the future. So you should be able to hang out with your friends, join groups, create events, share ideas in VR, just like you can online. And of course, now you're going to be able to do it with that added feeling of presence, like you're right there with the people who you're talking about, that no other technology platform that has existed before delivers. So we are launching this next year. We're putting the finishing touches on it now, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you all do with it. So that's... All right, so in a lot of ways, it's kind of hard to believe that this is only our 6th Connect, right? Because it's pretty amazing how far the technology and how far our community have come in just a short number of years. At the very first Connect, about 5 years ago, the Oculus team had just joined us, and we showed an early demo of the Crescent Bay technology, which of course went on to become the Oculus Rift. And a couple of years later, it went on sale for $600, plus you needed a $1,000 gaming PC and all the cables that we showed earlier to make this work. And now here we are, and we're shipping a hand tracking on a wireless headset that costs $399, that fits in a shoebox, and you can take it anywhere that you want. And our community here is well on the way to building a strong ecosystem with all of the content and awesome stuff that you guys are all building. So this is going to be the next computing platform. And it's only going to get more exciting and awesome and important from here. And this is one of the areas where I am just so grateful to have a chance to be on this journey with all of you. So I hope you have a great rest of this Connect, and I hope you enjoy everything else we're going to show you. And now I'm going to hand it off to Boz, who leads all of the augmented and virtual reality efforts at Facebook. All right, have a great day.